Now though, Christmas, as we know, it's great, but it also can be a difficult time for many people. My next guest is helping to support families that are struggling a bit. Now, I met Dr. Minnie Conkbayir and her husband Paul Whitehouse at an event last month. And you know what? We had a chat and I was so inspired by her story that I wanted to talk to her on the show, and she joins me now and it's lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you.
It really is. And this book that you've done, it's Maya's Ace Adventures. You know, you had your own problems growing up, so this book is written with real, proper experience, isn't it?
Yeah, lived experience. Maya's Ace Adventures, it's actually a play on adverse childhood experiences.
Right.
So it's giving us a clue that in this book, Maya goes on wonderful dream adventures where she finds the solutions to her real-life problems. Those being her dad is serving a lengthy prison sentence. She's being bullied at school because her dad's in prison. And there's some domestic abuse going on in the home with her mum and her present partner. And in the book, Maya goes on these incredible dream adventures when she falls asleep with her little hamster, Harry. But there she realises, with the people she meets along the way, that she is actually internally resilient. She can overcome life's obstacles. And by the end of the book, she sits on her bed and she tots it all up in her journal. And she goes, oh, my life is a bit bad, but there are some great things in it too, and people are there to help me. And it's a celebration, really. It's an uplifting book full of hope and strategies to manage through those bad times.
What do you want people to take away from this?
I want children who have experienced having a parent in prison to not feel so alone and ashamed. I describe it as an invisible sentence that we really don't deserve and we can find very difficult to shake off. So in this book, there are lots of ways to help the child to feel that they matter, that there's nothing to be embarrassed about or ashamed of, and that they can overcome this adversity with the help of those adults around them, hence the adult guide, which guides the adult to how best to use the story.
This is what's so good about this, because we've got the story, which is a lovely, lovely story, and you don't need to have gone through all of these traumas and problems, but if you're a kid and you're finding things a little bit difficult in any way. But then we have this, where this is where, because I think what happens with this book, certainly in my experience, is it sparks a lot of conversations.
Yeah.
And then you've got this to help.
Yeah, and it's
so that
about
you can,
having the conversations in the right context, in a safe context, where the adult knows what they're saying and they won't trigger the child and re-traumatise them. So it's looking at the images, how to prompt a nice conversation, a useful, safe conversation, how to encourage the child to express how they're feeling without the fear of being told off, or no anger here, no frustration here, but it's how to process those big emotions safely and in ways that can help them to grow and help them to not only survive the school experience, which, let's face it, is very tough these days, but how to thrive.
No, exactly. And you've lived this. That's the thing.
Still am.
Yeah, you know, you have. And you're very honest about your own experiences. You know, you had a parent who was in jail. You've had tough times in your life. But that means this is absolutely, totally authentic.
Absolutely, 100% real deal.
Which is proper real. And I know you've got a lot of support. Your husband is very supportive. And you both got a lovely daughter. And again, you're very honest with Delilah as well. You know, you say, look, I'm not always going to get this right.
Oh, she knows as well. She's like, well, you're right about it, you don't do it. And I'm like, oh, my God, I'm a fraud. But I do tell her, I come from a tricky family and I didn't have healthy role models in how to manage our emotions and our behaviours, and I'm doing my best and I'm sorry. Although I do trip up a lot, I'm very quick to repair the rupture and say, that was completely wrong. I am so sorry, you didn't deserve that. This is what it should look like. Let's start again, please. And she's like, OK, I'm there. And then off we go again. And
but that's
Paul's
great.
there like, oh, God.
But that's really good that you can do that, you know,
important.
as a family.
It's that validation.
You can all talk. Lenny Henry's a massive fan. I know he's written the foreword of the book, and he's been a huge supporter as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's like, it's brilliant, Renee. I love it. It's so uplifting and funny. I'm like, oh, thank you.
Well, that's the thing. You know, we should say this is a lovely story. And it's a story. Yes, of course, it's dealing with really, really tough things, but it's a story for every child.
It is, and it's a story of hope, how to problem solve as a child, giving the child a voice, giving them agency. And I think today children don't have much voice. They don't have enough respect and regard, especially in our schools, and that needs to change. So hopefully practitioners, social workers, police officers, teachers, foster carers, parents alike will take a look and go, there's something for us all to learn from.
Which is good, and that's what we've got to do, because, you know, it's all very well, everybody always talks about raising awareness about issues, and that's great. But then you've got to have action,
Yeah,
haven't you, to
what do you
back
do?
that up.
What are you going to do about it? And
Yeah.
hopefully it's packed full in there, what you can do about it.
Especially the
Yeah,
guide here.
yeah,
especially
building
the guide
safe
here.
spaces for children to speak about their problems without being judged and reprimanded for them, and just more regard, more time and space to feel, and instead of being judged too quickly and put on the scrap heap. And there is a common saying, you know, the school to prison pipeline, because children like me, ADHDers, those that have survived trauma, are often misunderstood. Our behaviours are looked as challenging or obstructive, and we're struggling to survive.
Yeah.
So this is showing adults, look, this is what children need, please put it in place.
Exactly, and more understanding.
It costs nothing, absolutely nothing.
See,
It's invaluable.
It is, absolutely is. And
it helps
especially this time of the
society.
year, Minnie, especially right now.
Absolutely.
Because everybody's supposed to be having a really good time.
Yeah,
and that makes you feel even worse if you're not.
Yeah, people are struggling, children are struggling. Yeah, it's Christmas, it's fantastic, but so many are deeply anxious. My daughter is one. I foolishly booked in so many festive activities, and I could see, you know, her behaviour was changing. She was complaining of stomach complaints and feeling sick. I'm like, what's going on really? Tell me the truth. She's like, I don't want to do anything. It's scaring me. Christmas is scaring me.
Jeez.
It's too much. I said, right, you take the diary, you cross off what you don't want to do, and I'll be led by you. She's like, really? Eyes popping. I'm like, yeah, go for it. So it's
really
paired
good.
right back. She's made her own advent calendar of things to do, which is mainly drinking hot chocolate, watching movies, going on nature walks, and making Christmas crackers with me. Perfect.
Minnie, that sounds like that's
Yeah,
joy. That is
yeah.
absolutely
Pure
sheer joy.
memories.
And you listen to your kids.
Yeah.
That's what we've all got to do, is listen to our
Much
children.
more of.
Thank you so, so much.
Pleasure.
And Maya's Ace Adventures is out right now. And of course, it's got this guide as well for anybody that's looking after kids, you know, parents or guardians,
Yeah,
or
anyone
anybody
and everyone.
that's got an input into making life easier, because we want that. Because I think it's hard now. It really is. Thank you so much for coming in.
Pleasure. Thank
Great to
you.
talk to you. And if you've been affected by anything that we've just discussed, of course, there's loads of helplines on our website, or get a hold of this book and the guide too.